10:15 a.m. We're at the LaSalle County Courthouse Commissioners Courtroom, 101 Courthouse Square here in Cotulla. We have a full quorum. We could rise to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
I noticed we have public comment, and Mr. Cameron Bell submitted information that he wanted to address the Commissioner's Court. Cameron?
Judge, Madam Treasurer, representing the Clerk's Office, Commissioners, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to address the court this morning. As I've done many times over the years, I'm addressing the court on behalf of the Cotulla Cemetery Association. The purpose of my addressing the court is to formally notify the court that by the end of 2023, if not before, that the Cotulla Cemetery Association will no longer provide or oversee operations of the entire Cotulla Cemetery. In the meantime, as we have requested many times over the years, the association welcomes the opportunity to develop a plan with the court and our commissioner in the office, which will ensure the ongoing operation of the entire Cotulla Cemetery. The association thanks the county court and commissioner in the office for your past support and ongoing interest in the Cotulla Cemetery. We look forward to hearing from you on starting the process of planning this transition. I'm Cameron Bell on behalf of the Cotulla Cemetery Association. Thank you.
Mr. Bell, we
Yes,
don't
Judge.
have an item on the agenda.
Correct.
But it would be, because for counties under 50,000, the county can manage cemetery. The only thing is it's within the city limits of Cotulla, and it's established so the city of Cotulla would get first choice because it is inside the city limits. So those are the hurdles you're going to have to address as the commissioners.
I appreciate that. Yes, as we've discussed in court and otherwise in the past, we have not had any recent discussion with the city. I did approach the city administrator some years ago asking if the city would have any interest in helping more with the cemetery. At that time, they said no. As you and probably all of you are aware, the county has for decades, off and on for decades, provided a stipend, an annual stipend in various amounts to the Cotulla Cemetery Association in order for us to be able to operate. And it's again, as we've discussed, Judge, it's not viable for a small informal volunteer organization to continue to operate the cemetery with the ongoing needs and costs and need for growth of the cemetery. It's just not viable looking into the future. And so wanted to give formal notice of the association's intent. We're not going to walk away, so to speak, and we didn't want to blindside anybody, but we need, the community needs, the court and the county help in transitioning into something, whether it's direct just under the county or county and city. If the county can work with the city on that, to ensure the operations of the Catula Cemetery.
Okay. So, I mean, I would like at some point
Yeah.
to address it.
I would just mention to the board that we've actually looked into, and started the process of either voluntarily or involuntarily through condemnation, acquiring more land for the Catula Cemetery. We have established with the city a governing body, for PCRA, which could also help with Catula Cemetery. Not to be critical by any means, but the city's not as responsive as the county in terms of stepping up and taking on these issues. We can work with the county in setting up a governing body that's funded under your budget and create some sort of board that the commissioners will appoint to run and operate and report back to you. Ideally, it would be, I think, better if we could get a working interlocal agreement with the city to address the cemeteries, and have one combined entity running both cemeteries, or at least operating and reporting back to the city and the county.
You're out of room as well, right? Out of,
No, and again, as I have shared before, the Cemetery Association, and actually I think the county has title to some of the acreage there. And there is room, as you all are probably aware, we have been adding new grave sites right off of Medina Street. The Cemetery Association has title to some of the other space in the curve of the farm to market. The city has streets there. But if it's done correctly, we've frankly guesstimated that you could probably put an additional 600, maybe 800 grave sites in that entire curve area or area along the curve of the farm to market once the city abandoned the streets that lie there. The Cemetery Association, if I'm not mistaken, also has title to a little triangle property across the farm, across from the main entrance to the cemetery. That could potentially be used for additional grave sites, or it's been asked in the past if there's the possibility in the future of a pet cemetery. And I know a lot of communities do that, or doing that, or trying to do that. And so the space across from the main cemetery might be used for something like that in the future, if the governing body were interested in looking at that.
thank you, Mr. Bell.
Thank you. Look forward to hearing from you.
I'm gonna jump to number 5. Danny's gonna be here later. Discussion possible action update to reapprove cooperative agreement with Texas A&M Agricultural Life Extension Services in LaSalle County. The director's not here. Want to table that item until he can be here. I'll send you a copy of the agreement that he sent us, which is pretty much the standard agreement. So I'm asking to table this until, I'm trying to think of his name, from the A&M extension.
Make the motion to table.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and second to table. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Number 5, discussion and/or possible action on request of the Catula LaSalle County Chamber of Commerce.
That's number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6. Okay, number 6. And he sent you all a letter, and the letter says, Chamber's requesting a contribution of $40,000. We're asking for assistance in running the Chamber's day-to-day operations. This coming year, we're working on LED digital signage on Front Street to post community events and other information for all who pass the billboard to see. We're focusing on putting up feelers for affordable housing that we all desperately need. Most, as we do daily, we provide our services to business community with needed information and contacts so they may succeed. We also help provide information to visitors, citizens, and tourists. We thank you for being a sound supporter, and your provision is very much appreciated. Last year, Ms. Martinez sent him a letter saying if the donation was related to economic development, then we can help them. But there's so many different opinions in reference to chambers of commerce. It's not like I come up with it, but it's because these questions have been answered for all over Texas for years and years. And one of the things is that they cannot use the money for operations. And this is what is stated here, that they need it for day-to-day operations. And unless they come back and change it and show it to us, or what they're using for, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna have to look at it.
Where else do they get money to?
The thing is, a Chamber of Commerce is organized to promote local business. And in their bylaws, when they're created as a nonprofit, they're created to get local businesses to come in and participate. The elderly people, the mothers at home that don't have business, they can't be members because they don't have a business. And there's a number of opinions that cover that, let's say, here's Cordes versus City of Garland. The court held that a taxpayer could not enjoin a city's illegal donation to public funds of a Chamber of Commerce. And it's AG opinion. The Constitution prohibits the legislature from authorizing a county to become a dues-paying member of Chamber of Commerce. Based on these authorities, we conclude that you may not make unconditional grants of money, property, or anything of value to entities in question. So the only thing is, if they do economic development, like last year we had talked about, whatever you do, a sign, you got a billboard, home of world champion, Phil Lyons of Kinsel, put up a big board. It costs like $10,000. We'll pay for it. They can put Chamber of Commerce, but we can't do operations.
And they didn't want to anyway.
Huh?
They didn't want to.
Well, no, the Kinsels are private.
Yeah.
They're real private, and they were interested for a while, but they're just private. But I'm saying as an example,
I understand.
how many world champions have you had out of South County?
No.
So
No, not many.
you had,
Haley.
huh?
Just Haley.
You got Haley. You had Phil Lyons lives here,
Oh, he's from
and then you
West.
had Prince Wood.
I rest.
And then Fresno Wood. I believe Prince Wood was a world champion, wasn't he, Ira?
I believe so.
Huh? Yeah. Huh?
You also have Juan Salinas, I don't know.
Juan Salinas.
Well,
What's the name?
Yeah.
Conventional.
But that's what I'm saying is do something to promote, If we don't want to, maybe they need to come down and say, hey, let's have a meeting and let's do some examples. Instead of saying no completely, because they said, well, no, you don't want to. But let's work something out to where they get you all involved to make the whole county go good.
Home of Champions.
Huh?
Home of Champions, if they don't want the name on it.
Yeah, I mean, but there's something else. And I'm not saying no, I'm saying, hey, let's bring them back and let's talk to them and say, hey, I know you're doing good, but they have to get you all involved in the decision. because they give scholarships. Well, you come up with the money for scholarships. Counties cannot give scholarships. We can give money to the stock show, and they can do an event, but counties can't. But like the chamber, they're organized, they can't give scholarships according to the way it's set up, but they do. You all don't look good. They're using your money,
So the money we be on the use of that.
is used for that. So, no, you gotta talk to them and say, hey, we want to work on economic development. And any scholarships that you do is based on the money that you all raise. So for the chamber, I'd like to say, hey, I'd rather have a meeting, just have a meeting maybe before we do the budget and talk to them in November and, talk to them for about an hour and then
Bring
see
it
what
up.
we can do, huh?
Bring it up.
But I try to follow as many AG opinions as possible because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to say no, but I don't want you all to get in trouble either. So that's why I research to see what can be done that way in the future we don't get in trouble. And that's what I was gonna ask for, the Commissioner's Court. I said, hey, let's table it, give them a date to come back. The opinions are there, and we'll, we're not saying no, but let's have a meeting to talk about it.
That'll work.
So I'm just asking to table this item until and give them a date in November, and we'll meet with them.
I'll make the motion to table.
Second.
Motion's been made and second to table. All those opposed, same sign. Number 7, discussion and/or possible action on request by LaSalle County Rodeo Association. And I thought Brenda was gonna be here, Brenda and Sarah Kay, because they asked to put the item on the agenda. I know that you're here, but you're not with the Rodeo Association.
I'm a member of it, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
From what I understand, there's only 2 officers of the association, that's Leslie Kinsel and Sarah K. Lyons.
Brenda's not in it. Well, Corky made the majority of the arena and all that, but it's Sarah and Leslie.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Sarah said she wanted to be here. She wanted to be here,
Leslie's the president.
the president. So,
That's what Sarah says. She's la patrona.
yeah.
Leslie.
At the house.
Huh?
At the house.
At the house all the time. But, without them here, I can't do anything but table it.
I'll make the motion to table.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Say something?
Yes, sir.
In reference to the deal with the East Radio Association, I know that as of right now, they put power out there. The meter can and turn up sometime during the summer, and turn the wires from the meter can all the way back to the AEP pole, and that's all having to be replaced. As of right now, our radio is scheduled for not this weekend, but the following weekend. The LaSalle County Farm Bureau, along with myself and a couple others, are coming together looking for money because the association broke. They have the money. So we're putting in money, we're trying to get the meter can put in, we're trying to get AEP reconnected to them. We're trying to get the disconnect that they're requiring now, which is, as of right now, is over $1,200 just in equipment that's needed. Not counting labor for the electrician and that kind of deal. We're hoping we can have it hooked up before the date of our radio.
What's the date of the rodeo?
28th and 29th. We do have a backup plan if we can't get with AED and Connected. We connected between now and then, we've already talked to Bullseye, they are going to lease us a generator that's large enough to carry the facility, the lights, the concession stand, the announcer stand, the whole 9 yards. That is at a cost of approximately $400 a day for that generator. So there are things coming up that we're trying to put on. I know it's down the road a little bit, but I've already, as of right now, I've got the agreement, the lease agreement in March, the weekend after Alcohol. We were putting together, not too long ago, myself and a couple others, putting a nonprofit organization together. We're gonna have what we call the Border Town Showdown. It is nothing but, bareback riding, saddle riding, and bull riding. We top place contestants, and we can pull out the CPRA, and local other agencies. They come in, they'll ride one round, the top 10 come back on the next night for the short round. So we are kind of working and helping the association down here get the arena up and running, because this is a very good location for rodeo events, and it brings a lot of people to town. The rodeo we put in March in October 28th and 29th. We bring approximately 600 contestants to that rodeo. They got heated gas, they got heated restaurants, they fill up the gas stations, they rent hotel rooms, things like that. So the arena is a big part of this community. And it could be a bigger part if we can just get this up and running on every day.
Well, I know, that property is still leased, the county's still the owner of the property of the rodeo, of the 19 acres. We might be able to come back and just do a small special meeting, and I think that's probably what Sarah Kay was asking me for the light, electricity, or repairs to do so, but we'd have to have a small, a small meeting to authorize it.
I'm actually not even hearing about that. I was under the impression this was concerning our rodeo in 2 weeks. I didn't know it was about the rodeo in itself.
No.
That was a request for,
No, she has to be on the item, and she had some, she was gonna ask for a donation. And she had asked me if I got the letter. I hadn't received the letter. And then I got a message from Brenda, what the address was here right before 8, and I responded that the address, but nobody's here. So maybe something happened with the rain, I don't know. Hopefully they're fine. But we can call a special meeting for them if we need to. If we need to. So,
So the county owns the property, but they're leasing it, right?
yes, the county owns the property. And part of the cemetery, we own part of that property too. Yeah, so so we may need to have a meeting to cover Cameron's deal very shortly, I think it can get resolved. And the rodeo, and take care of those things. And there might be one more thing in a minute after we go over it. Let's just table it, and we'll try to get a hold of them and make them come in. Get them to come in. And we voted on it already.
Yes.
The road association.
Number 8, discussion in executive session, potential action, open session. And we go to executive session on deliberation, negotiation of parking lot agreement with Methodist Church. And I put a copy in there because we started on this last year and we hadn't finished up. First they said that they had somebody that was gonna do it and they didn't have someone that was gonna do it. So Keith drew up the agreement. I sent it to Ms. Martinez. I also sent it to Judge Flores, Manuel Flores. It's in the agreement. And if you want, we can go in executive session to cover it, if you want to review it. Or if you want to review it and come back talk about it, that's fine. But the issue is the development of the parking lot over here, a 10-year paid-up agreement, and the only time that they have exclusive use is Saturdays and Sundays, and if there's a funeral. Otherwise, we can use it as we need. But,
Like during the day,
yeah, there's not enough parking.
Like when we get court, they can park there.
Huh?
When there's court, they can park
Yes.
there, so park very well.
And if there's a funeral, they'll give us notice. But I want you to read the agreement and then cover it instead of saying, hey, rush through it. Read the agreement and then we'll come back to it if that's the case. But we're gonna have to do that, you know. This is one of the lingering items that we started and we'll finish up. I mean, so as your county judge, we got this agreement going. We gotta take care of the nursing home and the dialysis clinic. And you got that project of precinct 3, and I'm done with projects as your county judge. I'm done.
Just because that parking lot was supposed to be like for the annex building, right?
Yeah,
So I hope we don't have problems with people driving up in there and then there's a funeral.
no, the only thing they worried was,
Over the weekend.
the only thing they worried about was when they have funerals and Saturdays, Sundays, you know, when they have mass.
They can close
They,
it.
they, they can close it. So it's a 10-year lease. It's a 10-year lease. And they were asking, a payment of $50,000 for the use of land, and then,
Good.
Yeah,
we
it's a
can
pay-
get that now.
it's a paid up, huh? It's a paid up, what's 10,000 divided by,
And
it's 5,000 a year for rental.
And they're gonna do the parking lot?
No, you said you'd build the parking lot.
No, not my precinct no more.
It's not your precinct no more? So it can be the county.
CS, you don't cross, but Prison 6 ends at that street. Yeah. So that was different.
The pink shack, that's the pink.
Where's the pink?
Precinct 2.
No, 6.
6.
At all. No, it only comes to that. No, what is it? What street is
That's right
that?
there. This is
Carrizo.
the,
Tilden.
this is the courthouse over here.
Oh, yeah,
So that's it. I'm, right, those apartments, those.
okay.
Sure.
Because it comes all the way to the annex.
Yeah,
Tilden Street.
you know,
Yeah, that, buddy.
here,
There's the courthouse right here.
Yeah.
That's right there.
That was a mistake.
well,
That was a mistake.
Yeah, it's a new, el nuevo, yeah.
well, there's
No, it was a
no,
mistake, because I didn't have it. And then
Did you
you
go
give
get
it to Jack.
Well, yeah, but they changed everything. Remember when they changed all the census? You had an apartment to pay, now you have to.
just,
I know that.
Jack's had everything.
I didn't even have
look,
Watson.
look, just pay,
Pa' allá.
just pay it out of the general fund. Just pay it out of the general fund.
That's money out of the county. I mean,
It's still out of the county for the material. How much material is it gonna take?
not much. The only problem is the 50,000.
I mean, we give the rodeo station 40,000 and they don't do anything for us.
No, don't give them no more.
Huh, we still give it to them. You know,
So this year, though, Tuesday, we're gonna play there.
You see,
so, that's what I said, if you wanna think about it, come back and we have a meeting with them.
Let's think about it, just the way they did it, because we're gonna do it, though, they changed their mind, so now let us think about it, see what we get. We don't need it.
No? No, you don't need it.
we haven't used it. I mean, it's up to you. Pero,
So what do we do, table it?
I mean, a table and we'll come back.
Okay.
We'll have to come back to it.
Table it.
That way y'all read it and say,
Second.
escuchar lo que era hacer.
huh?
¿Qué presenta una hacer? Six.
It's 6.
Unless you want to do the parking lot.
But I mean,
No tiene dinero.
we could pay it out of the general fund. The thing is, do we need the parking? Do y'all need the parking on court dates? Is there that many cars that come through on court dates
Because we have jury selection days.
and jury dates? You know? So I know there's days that you can't find parking, but
But how come we can't just do the parking and let them use it, we use it, without the 50,000?
I know that's what I mean.
well, if it's your property, well, you gonna give it away? Let's use half your house for parking for,
If I had a lot of
for
money,
things.
I would give it away. But I
I
don't.
mean, but you know, that's why they have what they have, because it costs somebody. That property wasn't given to them, it was sold to them, they bought it.
So that probably belongs to the church.
It belongs to the church.
And who was the parking?
And the parking, well, then they give you permission to use it for the cost,
Yeah, I understand it, but 50,000?
you know, 10 years.
But,
It's
and
a
that's,
10-year
I-
agreement, it's 5,000 a year paid up.
and I didn't like the contract, 10 years, no. Need more,
Huh?
we need more years. There's gotta be more people in Copula, and we're gonna need it.
Plus give it more, I mean,
You know, at least
give it
20
more.
years.
More money.
No, 20 years.
For the same amount.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
That's, you know, like you just said, just think about it.
20 years,
Then we
2,500
don't
a
know.
year. Está bien.
But I said, have them here so you can negotiate that. Because once you build it, I don't think it would be too expensive
Yes,
to build.
church.
Huh?
Yes, church, you get it, it's all right. I mean, it's not in my precinct.
No, it is a precinct.
Is that all?
Uh-huh. It
It is,
is.
yeah.
But it didn't matter because there was no odds, Jack's.
Sí, es en
It's Jack's precinct.
I know.
There's no more.
But this is, look, mira, it's his precinct, but this is not a road and bridge issue.
No.
This is a community issue.
Yeah.
On the parking. And George already made the design. Or
Yeah, we
George
were gonna
already
do
made
it, but one of them guys didn't want to.
So now that they don't vote for you, you don't want it, because it's not your
It's not
precinct no more?
bad. We're gonna do it though, one of the guys said, no, we're gonna do it, they were gonna do it. They didn't want us to do it. So now they want us to do it, put up the 50,000.
For money.
Did they ever think about it for a little while? I mean, just let them wait for a little while. That's what I'm saying.
¿Qué color era?
Man.
It's not just about that.
La de para acá,
No, I'm not asking to set, I'm telling you this is the agreement. But I placed the item that if we were here, we can go in executive session,
It's up to me.
but, we can still talk about it. So let's table it.
No need to make a motion, I second it.
Motion's been made and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The next two items, we'll talk about in executive session. One is consideration of potential action on entering agreement for management of Las Palmas Nursing Home pursuant to section 262.024A2 of the Texas Local Government Code as agreement to preserve or protect the public health or safety of the residents of the county, including approving basic terms of agreement, as well as authorizing negotiations of terms to final agreement. Number 10, discussion in executive session with potential action in open session pursuant to section 551.0725, contract deliberation over operation of dialysis clinic with Satellite Healthcare Incorporated. So we would need a motion to go into executive session.
I make the motion to go into executive session.
Motion's been made and second.
10:50 a.m.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
10:58 a.m.
The
10:50.
10:50? So we are in executive session.